Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyana. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavatveshi. Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanura Mardanam Devakim Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. So today we take up reading of the 10th shloka of the jñāna-karma-sannyasa yoga, the 4th adhyaya of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Remember in our previous reading, Sri Krishna had spoken about those few select people. Yo vekti tattvataha janma karma chamme divyam. My divine birth, my divine actions, those who in true light understand that. In true light, people who know that they are freed from rebirth, they are freed from the cycle of rebirth, birth and death, birth and death, birth and death, and they come to me. That's what Krishna has told Arjuna. Now, what type of people are these? These unique people who understand the import of the Lord's advent in its true sense, in its true light. Now Sri Krishna talks about those people who have the capability of knowing the Lord's doing, the Lord's understanding, the Lord's divine play, the Leela. Vīta-rāga-bhaya-krodhā man-mayā upāśhritāḥ bahavo jñāna-tapasā pūtā mad-bhāvam āgatāḥ. Now Sri Krishna is explaining to us about the type of people who come to me, who come to the Lord by getting rid of that cycle of birth and death, birth and death. Sri Krishna says, vīta-rāga-bhaya-krodhā. Vita is giving up. Freed from. Freed from what? Raga, attachment. Bhaya, fear. Krodha, anger. Those who free themselves from these three deadly calamities: attachment, the anger, and fear. These are the three things. They are the real enemies of human beings from attaining liberation. If we have these three things, the vīta-rāga-bhaya-krodhā, attachment, fear and anger, we cannot do anything good, because these three things will only pull us down. They will get us entangled in this ordinary cycle of activities. We will get entangled with the attachment, with the fear and the anger. They are continuously pulling us down. So Sri Krishna says, one who has given up raga-bhaya-krodhā and man-mayā, absorbed in me, man-mayā, absorbed in me, mam upāśhritāḥ, has taken refuge in me. Having abandoned these three enemies, one who has absorbed by meditating on me. Absorbed in me means by contemplating on me, by contemplating on my divine nature, and gets absorbed in me. It takes refuge in me. Mam upāśritaḥ. Ashrita is, taking shelter at someone's place. Mam upāśritaḥ, taking refuge in me. Bahavo, jñāna-tapasā. Bahava is many. Jñāna-tapasā, by the fire of knowledge. Pūtā, purified. Purified by severe austerities, by severe, purified in that fire of knowledge. As if getting rid of all the evil deeds that that person might have done. Fine. He might have done so many evil deeds. But having given up attachment and anger and fear, absorbed in me, contemplating on me, one who takes refuge in me. Bahavo jñāna-tapasā. Having committed severe austerities and as if purified, pūtā, purified, getting rid of all the impurities in the fire of knowledge. One who comes to me, one who gives up all these three automatically starts getting the knowledge, the real jnana, and he starts becoming purer and purer and purer. Mad-bhāvam āgatāḥ. That kind of person, he attains my being. So that also Sri Krishna has told us. The type of person. What kind of people, they know the divinity of the Lord, divinity of the incarnation. What is the eligibility criteria for these people to understand the import of the Lord's divinity, to understand the purpose of Lord's Leela? So the criteria is getting rid of vīta-rāga-bhaya-krodhā, attachment, fear and anger. Having abandoned these three, contemplating on me, those who take refuge in me, bahavo jñāna-tapasā, performing so many austerities, they pūtā, jñāna-tapasā, they get purified by fire of knowledge. They get the true knowledge of who I am. They get the true understanding of who I am and thereby get purified, and mad-bhāvam āgatāḥ, they come to my being. That's how this particular process of salvation works, process of liberation works, from getting entangled into that, the cycle of punarjanma. Freed from passion, fear and anger, filled with me, taking refuge in me, purified by the penance in the fire of knowledge, many have entered into my being. Sri Krishna says that as many births I have taken, there are also, in every birth, there are people who have realized me, who have entered me. But what is required for that? Freedom from attachment, freedom from fear, freedom from anger. Can we do it? The moment we are able to do it, we start getting merged with the divine. We start automatically thinking about him, absorbed in me. That is another criteria. So basically, freeing ourselves from attachment, anger, and fear, we start following this path towards understanding the divine import of the Lord, and finally, having understood it, the person merges in the Lord. It is only after filtering that muddy water becomes fit to be mixed with pure water. Let the dirt and all that impurities be filtered out. Filtered out by way of removing attachment, fear, and anger. Mind purged from passion, fear, and anger assumes competency to grasp the divine. Not this fetters. That is the word. Fetters which keep us away from understanding the divinity, the attachment, the passions, the anger, and the fear. What will happen if? Why have you? Unless and until one doesn't develop faith, fear will always be there. Who becomes fearless? One who has great amount of faith, great amount of devotion, he becomes fearless. So what? That becomes the attitude. I am the child of mother. What evil can, harm me? Otherwise, if we don't have that fierce faith, we are always in the danger. We are always afraid that, oh, I am committing sin. I am committing something evil. We are always afraid of doing sin, doing bad thing. But if we have faith, then we boldly say, how can sin even touch me? I am the mother's child. Then getting absorbed in it becomes easy. Only after getting rid of these fetters, then one becomes eligible for higher state of merging the lower self in the higher self. Through absorption, the glory of the divine is increasingly realized. And as we keep on absorbing ourselves in the Lord, automatically realization of the divine, it starts increasing. That knowledge, that vidya, it starts getting increased. There is then no difficulty whatsoever in taking refuge in what is known to be the benign. And once we start realizing the import of Lord's play, then we just resign ourselves. We just surrender ourselves. We just become a sharanagata. And Mother is the doer. I am just an instrument. Fuel consigned to fire becomes fire itself. It is penance which individuals seek to know of the divine and give themselves over it. This way, many have ascended from human to the divine. The more and more we keep on contemplating on the Lord, meditating on the Lord, like the more we put ghee in the fire, fire flares up. So the more we contemplate, the more we meditate, the more we focus ourselves on the divine aspects of the Lord, knowledge also starts flaring up. Intensity with which we devote ourselves to these practices, that makes our the journey even more intense. That makes our journey towards the Lord even more intense. This way, many have ascended from the human to the divine, great devotees. Like Lord Hanuman, he said, he was once asked, once Rama asked him, how do you look upon me? Then Hanuman says, till the time there is a differentiation, you are Lord Rama, I am Hanuman, your servant. As the realization dawns, then I am part of my Rama. As the realization further grows, then Hanuman says, then who is Rama and who is Hanuman? No. Then I am you, you are me. So that is what happens, that the human, ordinary human, transcends into the divinity. Mukti or emancipation in this wise is an eternal process. And this is bound to happen with all of us. Till the time till the time this facade of delusion is there, we are bound. We are bound by these fetters of attachment, and fear, and anger. The moment that screen is gone, that veil is removed, we are one with the Lord. Now, there is a very interesting teaching of Sri Ramakrishna in connection with this shloka. Sri Ramakrishna says, Maya is inherent in Ishvara. Maya is very much part of Ishvara. The delusion is part of Ishvara. Lord Krishna himself, he said, out of my own Maya, I take the form. I come into existence from my Nirakara phase to Sakar phase, from Nirgun to Sagun. It is all my Maya. Sri Ramakrishna says, Maya is inherent in Ishvara. This Maya is constituted of both Vidya and Avidya. Now, Maya as such, it has two aspects. That's what Sri Ramakrishna says. There is Vidya Maya and there is also Avidya Maya. Vidya Maya is knowledge. Avidya Maya, ignorance. Vidya Maya is made up of discrimination, devotion, detachment, and love of being. That is the Vidya Maya. That is the Maya of knowledge. Although it may be a part of delusion, but it is a higher level of knowledge. It is the understanding of this delusion that it is a delusion. Discrimination, devotion, detachment, and love of beings are the indicators of Vidya Maya. It takes aspirant Godward. The more we are overpowered by Vidya Maya, we lessen the distance between ourselves and the God. We start moving Godward with Vidya Maya. Avidya Maya, on the other hand, estranges man from God. So Avidya Maya, the attachment, fear, anger, this is all Avidya Maya, and that keeps us away. And that's what Sri Krishna has said here. That Sri Ramakrishna has referred to as Vidya Maya. Once that stage comes, then the person, then the devotee automatically becomes merged with the chosen deity. That is Sri Krishna's import of these kind of people. These kind of people who have distanced themselves, who have destroyed the Avidya Maya and following the path of Vidya Maya in the terms of Sri Ramakrishna. So Sri Krishna says, those people who have burnt their impurities in the fire of knowledge, they come to me and they become one with me. That is the type of people. So this is all. These are the small, the answers that Sri Krishna is giving through each and every shloka. He is showing us the way out, showing us the way out from this rigmarole of the cycle of birth and death, from the rigmarole of this suffering in the world, from this entanglement in sorrows of the world. That's what Sri Krishna is telling us. How to get rid of it. How to come up from all these, the basic problems that we are facing and get merged with the divine. First understand the divine. First, understand the divinity in everything around us. Understand it is the Lord's play. Understand we are just the instruments in the Lord's hand. And then, getting rid of these fetters. Just meditate upon the Lord. Get absorbed in it, in Him. And then Krishna says, they all come unto me. So that was 10th shloka of the Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ram Krishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swami.